The Montessori Elementary Grammar Boxes are amazing and beautiful and inspiring and expensive and intimidating and not for homeschoolers. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer from Branch to Bloom, and in today's video I'm going to show you all about how we use the Montessori Elementary Grammar Boxes at our house. And make sure you keep watching to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a sneak peek into our homeschool space and show you how we set up these materials on our shelves even though we have a very limited amount of shelf space. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any new videos that I upload. Once your child has been introduced to the different parts of speech using a fun story or a game, sometimes we call these the key experience lessons, then they're ready to dive into the Montessori Elementary Grammar Box material for that part of speech. So in my previous videos, I've been going through the key experience lessons and showing the grammar box materials kind of as I go. But today I'm going to do an overview of the entire material and explain what it's used for. So before we get into that, let me first say a few things. The color system for the Montessori grammar boxes does not match the grammar wooden symbols and object boxes from the primary classroom. And there's a reason for that. It's because we don't want the children to simply be matching up colors. We want them to actually be thinking about the parts of speech at this point. So you'll notice that like in primary work, when they were younger, they were mostly always following the same color system. And so nouns were black and verbs are red and everything has a different color. And it's the same here. We have a color for everything, but they don't all match up, and that's intentional. So the second thing I wanted to tell you about is that these grammar boxes start with box number 2, and there is no box 1, and that sometimes trips people up. So I just wanted to explain why that is. There's no box 1 because the number actually refers to the number of parts of speech that are inside each box. So grammar box 2 is for the article and noun. And so when you have those just 2 parts of speech, it's box 2. And that progresses all the way up to the very end when you get to box 9, which introduces the interjections. So there are 3 different types of boxes that are all considered part of the elementary grammar box material. And the 3 types are the filling boxes, the sorting boxes, and the command boxes. So let's start with talking about the filling boxes. The filling boxes are where your card material is going to all be stored on the shelf. There are 36 of these wooden colored boxes in the traditional Montessori material, and each set corresponds to a different part of speech. So for the article and noun filler boxes, they are all like black with a tan lid usually, and there are 4 of them. And then there's another set for when you add adjectives and another set for when you add verbs. Those are red, and on, all the way till you get to the box 9, which has the interjections. So I saw this material as a homeschooling parent, and I looked at the price tag and I looked at how just vast the material is, like how much space I was going to need to have to put this all out for my children. And I was really discouraged because having worked in Montessori school before, I've seen these on the shelf. I didn't work in the elementary classroom, so I didn't get to interact with them that much, but I had seen them and I knew how amazing they were. And my friends who teach in the elementary years told me how great they were. And I just was devastated because it felt like they just were not going to be a reality for me, for my kids. So out of that despair came what all mothers have, and that's my creativity kicked in. And I thought, I really want to have this material for my kids. So I tried a lot of different options, and what I finally settled on was what I now sell in my Etsy shop. So let me show you my version of the filler, or the filling box envelopes is what I call them. So this would be for set 2, and instead of having 4 wooden boxes I have an envelope, which is made from organic canvas, and then when you open it up, I have labeled pockets inside. So in the traditional material, this would be 4 different boxes, but in my set, it's just one envelope with 4 pockets. I have these for all of the different sets, so this one is for 2, and it only has 4, but like the adjectives have a lot. So for these, they open all the way up like this. And each of these would be an individual box in the traditional material, and I have a pocket for mine. So that's what the filling box envelopes look like. And the next type is the sorting boxes. Now for the sorting boxes, you literally take the materials from the filling boxes and you sort them onto those sorting box surfaces. There are 8 of them, again, 1 for each new part of speech that's introduced, boxes 2 through 9, and they take up a bunch of room on your shelves, and they're gorgeous, but I don't have enough shelf space for them. So I made something else. I made these organic cotton sorting mats instead, and you can see that they have the parts of speech just like the regular sorting boxes do, but they are flat. So what's great about these is that this is the entire set right here, and you can stack them all on the shelf, and they take up very little space. And when you're done with them and you want to store them in the closet, because let's be honest, as Montessorians, we never get rid of anything, and homeschoolers are even worse. So when you want to store them in your closet for your next child or to pass on to a friend, they are really easy to just fold up and store. So those are the sorting boxes. And the last type of boxes that are in this material are the command boxes. And these are a set, again, of colored boxes. In the traditional material, you're going to have one, they're open on the top, and you have one for each part of speech. Some of them, like the verb and the adjective, actually have 2. My set, I added a command envelope for the interjections, but usually there isn't one included. My kids just really like that part of speech, and so I made material for that for them. So I include it in my set in case your kids are really interested in it too. So what's inside these is a little bit different. The commands are not the same as the other card material, where you're taking sentences or phrases and then rebuilding them. That's what children do. They rebuild those sentences or phrases to get a real good concrete feel for classification of language and grammar in practice. But the command boxes are different. They have commands or actions that children should do, and they have fun experiments in some of them that they can do, different exercises they can do. So this is what mine look like. They're open-topped just like the regular boxes are open-topped. I mimicked that design, and they're made from organic wool felt. And I made sure to choose really beautiful, vibrant colors just so they would be very inviting, just like the traditional material. But as you can see, this takes up much less space than large wooden boxes would take. So, for example, in the adjective box, so this is what the cards would look like. This one says this, that, it's in brown for the color that we're using for adjectives. And it says, go to that corner of the room, then come to this corner. Now run to that corner over there. So it's something fun for them to physically do to practice grammar. There's also, for the adjective set, there's also a second envelope, which is a set of exercises for them to do. And it will tell the children to do something like this one. Okay, so this one has transparent, opaque, translucent written across the top for the different adjectives that they're going to use. And it says, take a piece of clear glass, a sheet of black paper, a sheet of wax paper, look at the light through them, and then apply the correct adjective above. So there are word cards in here with these words, transparent, opaque, and translucent. And they would do this little kind of experiment and then label the glass, the sheet of black paper, and the sheet of wax paper with the correct adjective. So These actually are my children's favorite part of the grammar boxes because they really enjoyed the physical actions, like the doing of the acting out of the grammar. So I think they're really fun. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about the card material that's included with the grammar materials. So most of the time when you buy the traditional grammar boxes, you're not going to get card material with that. My set actually comes with a printed set of the card material, and my card material is a little bit different than the traditional material, and here's why. I made it specifically for homeschoolers. So it's a little bit shorter. I abridged it. I updated the archaic language to be more modern so that your children will understand what it's saying. And I also did one more really important thing, and that's that I changed the nouns that were in this set that referred to Montessori specific materials. That is, things that you would have if you had a full Montessori classroom. I changed those to be common everyday items that you will have in your home. So like, for example, I was just reading about the adjective commands. Some of them will say things like, build the pink tower behind the brown stair. Well, if you don't have a pink tower or a brown stair in your house, you're not going to be able to do those actions. And so your children might be kind of confused when they read those. In my set, you won't have that problem because I swapped out those materials for things like wooden blocks, or if it was like referring to a certain type of bead chain in the bead cabinet, I just made it something else that you probably have at your home or in your small classroom. If you're not a Montessorian and you don't have all the Montessori materials, you can still use this set. So I wanted to make sure you understood that. It is shorter. I made sure that all of the concepts are covered. I didn't feel like it needed to be quite as extensive as the traditional material. So my set is based on the lists that are in the Advanced Montessori method, and I've updated it and abridged it for homeschool use. It's still a lot of material. I just want to show you. It's 219 pages, and if you get the printed version, it's going to come on, it's a kind of heavy paper. It has a sheen to it, and it's 32 pound, if that means anything to you. So it's kind of like a little bit, it feels almost like magazine slickness, but it has a little bit more weight to it than like your regular average copy paper. I did this because this is the weight and the size that slides most easily in and out of the filling boxes that I made, the filling box envelopes that I made. So that's why I chose this weight of paper. I also offer these materials as a PDF for you to download. So if the complete set that I make, which includes the filling box envelopes and the command box envelopes and the sorting mats, as well as the card material, if that's not in your budget, I totally understand. And I offer the card materials, which includes the material for both the command boxes and the filling boxes, as a PDF for you to download and print yourself. And I also offer these mats, which are the command box mats, as a printable. So you can print them on paper and laminate them if that's what's working best in your budget. And I just want to make sure that everybody has access to this amazing material. So now that I have explained all of these, let's go and take a quick look at my homeschool space, and I'll show you how I have it all set up on our shelf. So welcome to my kitchen. That's where we're standing right now, right in the middle of my kitchen. And we don't have a very big house, but our house actually has this really nice space in the back of the house where the kitchen and the little Eden kitchen area and the family room are all one big space. And this is where we've set up most of our homeschooling materials and where our kids do most of their homeschooling. We also have like a little patio off that I'll show you, and my kids can go out the back door and explore things outside. So that's been a really great thing. If you want to see more of our homeschool space and would like me to do a little tour for you and show you how I store things that we're not using, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to get a video of that up for you as well. But today we're just going to take a quick peek, and then I will show you how the grammar materials are on our shelves so you can see how they would fit in your home environment. Okay, so here's our patio that I was mentioning that goes out to our backyard, and we do a lot of work actually just right here at the kitchen table when we're doing stuff side by side. And my children really like to sit here on this sofa, especially in the wintertime, and turn on the fireplace. So it's pretty cozy. And then this is their designated sort of homeschool space. It's all from IKEA mostly, including the chairs. I really like that the table is adjustable height. And again, I can do another video explaining all the things that I have here, but this is just a really quick look. My children, for reference, are 9, almost 10, and 11, and so they're in upper elementary, so you'll notice that we don't have a lot of the math materials and stuff on our shelves anymore, but I still have them in my closet. So this is the grammar material here, just in these 2 little cubes on this IKEA shelf. The mats stacked all up here. So they all just stack. So here's box 2, box 3, box 4, 5, which is prepositions, 6, adverbs, 7, pronouns. So you can just see them all. They all just stack here, and my children just come and choose which one. They're actually just about done with these. Bittersweet. And then I have here in these canvas bins, which are an optional purchase with my boxes. This is the filling box envelopes, and you can see that they're all stitched on the side. So if you want to put them on a shelf, like a bookshelf, you can see the color on the side. I stitched the bindings. And then here are the command envelopes, also in a canvas bin. So they just all fit neatly here. So you don't need a lot of space, which makes me so happy because it fits perfectly for us. So this is our homeschool space, and I hope that it was helpful for you to see how we have set up these materials on our shelves. If you have any questions or you have a comment, please leave it in the comments below. I always check for them, and I'll link all the materials that I mentioned in the video today in the description below. If you liked the video, please click like, and please share it with your friends. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe so you don't miss out on my upcoming content. Have a great day, and thanks so much for joining me today. I hope to see you next time.